It's finally 2v2 time. I really feel like it's been quite a while since I've cast a 2v2. Now I don't know how long it's actually been, because my schedule and when I actually cast games is not exactly synced up too great, but hopefully you guys are as keen to cast a 2v2 as I'm feeling right now. We've got Dice Roll playing as the Lord Commissar here, going to be laning himself against Aboba and his PC. Pretty rough matchup really for the IG, but the Lord Commissar, he's always so good. Team games, 1v1, it doesn't matter. The early game pressure of this guy is insane. Undoubtedly the best IG hero at the moment. Going to be abusing some stance switching going into the green cover here and going to be shooting off that powerful las pistol. Strongest las pistol in the game. Not only strongest las pistol, strongest sidearm in the game. So he's going to be trolling around for a bit. He's going to be facing... No, he's not going to be facing anyone. I've already talked about that. He's going to be allied with Zero Cryos playing as the Demon Hunter, and he himself is going to be facing against Fog, who's playing as the Force Commander. And Suka Debil occurred. Oh dear, he lost his Commissar, and he's not very happy about it. Indeed. After all of his stance switching bullshit, that's quite embarrassing to lose your Commissar. But damage over time of the Plague Champion, man. Can throw you. Very ballsy play here from Aboba to try and keep his Plague Champion in play as much as possible. There's only one Guardsman squad, so the DPS outputted by them not super high. Obviously green cover here from the Plague Champion. Ooh, that was a nice little barrage of grenades there since the Guardsman blobbed up to get into the deployable cover. But here comes the Demon Hunter. Oh yeah, he's gone for the revive. Nice. So that's not going to set back Dice too much. It's going to be delayed a little bit by the barrage there. Not a bad play. Probably should just focus on the IST and bleed them. You're not going to be able to kill the Demon Hunter, I don't think. You're just going to be able to face tank the damage and get the revive. Yeah, Guardsman going to secure the revive running into melee here to stop the CSM firing. It doesn't really matter. It was guaranteed anyway, but I like the theory. Now that little swing over there with the IST and the hero has meant that Fogg's had a really good opening himself, and he's been able to cap the middle, and he's pushing really deep, cut all this side of the map. He's rolling with double tacks going into devs, no war gear yet, going to be decapping this natural requisition and fully capturing the natural VP of the blue team. So currently the red team have got a 0-0 cap. Ooh, and Cry just wasted his grenade. Really needed to save that grenade for the attacks when they go into a building. Those IST impact grenades, they do way higher damage to units in buildings. I think it's like triple damage or something. So it's not really very high damage by default, it's just about the disruption. But yeah, against double attacks, you gotta think they're probably going to be exploiting those buildings. Of course, they don't want to be fighting the strike squad in melee. There's a lot of buildings on this map. So super dominant lead so far from the red team. Let's see how the blue team are going to be able to respond to this. Fog a little bit isolated here. Well, not a little bit, he's actually super isolated. Oh man, if Dice had executed that Kadashan squad, that would have been a wipe with the old reliable onto the scouts, but gonna wipe the scouts anyway. What the hell were they doing? Why did they not get out? Fog too busy focusing on his Devastator, trying to get it into a good position here. Did manage to force off the Demon Hunter who's getting his Armor of Fortitude, also picked up his Hunter's Blade, so basically turning him into a dedicated melee hero. Look at this, you've got the IEDs being planted at the doorway, and Fog was too slow to see it. Bang! IED goes off, 3 HP on the remaining Tactical Space Marine model, takes it out with the Kadashan Devils. This is Fog fucking up big time. Man, they had such a good initial lead there. They've still got a nice lead with the map control, but Fog losing 2 units very unnecessarily there with his tax and his scouts. Oh man, he lost 2 models on these tax as well. What the hell, Fog? Chill, dude. God, he really wanted that Gen Bash. Committed way too hard for that, and that is going to set him back a lot.
Won't be long, sir.
Good few VPs though to catch up the blue team. A lot of VPs. We've also got a turret down here. I don't know if that turret is positioned correct. I'm not a team game player, so it probably is fine. I guess if you're here, maybe this acts as a line of sight blocker. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, owning these side power points, super important on Golgotha depths. This is the first time that Dice Roll's actually encountering the turret. Prior to this, he hadn't seen it. Oh god, now there's a Havoc as well. Oh, this is a nightmare. Yeah, this is fucked up. We just gotta get out of there. He's got double spotters. What the hell? What a weird build. Oh, I just realised he didn't even go for a Sentinel, did he? Yeah, so this is why he's got so much tier 1.5 already. Interesting. Huh. But how could he possibly deal with this turret? He can't. He needs to get tier 2 and get incendiary shells, I guess. But yeah, hard to get tier 2. We'll see. Should be a huge advantage to the red team here, having these extra additional gens. The blue team, in contrast, Cry's going to be really focusing heavily on this side path here and going to be dropping down gens over here to try and keep up in the tech race. One of the gens is very important. Must have used the grenades already on the tax here, I assume. So trying to stay in play, get the cooldown off of it. Seeing Cry pull the strikes over to try and get out of the arc of fire of the Devastators there, but no luck. Can apparently shoot through this fence, I didn't know that either. What are these scouts doing? Gonna go for the gens, super close range with shotguns, fair enough. And yeah, Dice Roll is gonna get forced off over here. Gonna rotate some units over. This is quite annoying to deal with thanks to the garrisons. You send a melee unit, they're just gonna go in the garrison. God, so many garrisons in this map. So Fog is the first to tier 2, but he doesn't have anything to show for it. Literally nothing. What the fuck? He's the first to go tier 2, yet his first purchase is a Scout Sergeant. Well, this is a major mistake. He obviously doesn't realise how far ahead he is in tech. Holy shit, if he just went for a Razorback right now, that could be the end of the game, looking at how bad the VP situation is for the blue team. Now his flame attacks are getting onto the gens here, so they're going to neutralise the 2 gens dropped by Cry on this side of the map, and it's going to be able to keep the red team ahead in that tech race. Aboba, though, obviously had a lot of expenditure in tier 1, so he's still stuck in tier 1. I mean, he spent loads, man. Mucus Discharge, Eternal War, Aspiring Champion, Grenade Launcher Ticks, a Havoc and a Turret. That's a very big tier 1. Needs to get the Havoc into good position here, control the Lord Commissar. It's a nice Mucus Discharge. I feel like they were about to lose a model any second. I don't know why the Havoc is not shooting at the Lord Commissar. It's a bit weird. Definitely looked like he was in range there. That was very odd. Kinda hard to get value out of the Havoc when you're fighting 2 spotters, that's for sure. But I say that, and the spotters are not dealing with the... Oh wow. That was really late on the spotter smoke there. Forced the Commissar to retreat when really there was no reason for that. We've got the Dreadnought coming out now for Fog. Be interesting to see what type of Dreadnought that's going to be. You'd have to assume by default that it's going to be an Assault Cannon Dreadnought. I mean, that's kind of just what you do in a team game, really. But he might keep it just melee to start with as he goes over and uses the Underslung Flamer just to gen bash. And swap to Assault Cannon later as the players sort of blob up more and fight team fights more often. Wow, look at the damage there on the retreating Guardsman. Actually takes them out with the CSM. Beautiful. Flanking Havoc, putting in work. I was saying, I don't know how you're going to put in work with your Havoc against double spotters, but here you go. Apparently he does. I have to say, probably not the best spotter usage here from Mr. Dice Roll, but what can you do? He's going to be going for some Stormtroopers. Cry is going to be getting the Vindicare Assassin. I mean, Vindicare Assassin, just generally a beautiful, versatile unit purchase, but when you're against a Devastator, why not? He's going to be even happier when he sees the Dreadnought as well, because you just load in those turbo penetrator rounds. It's basically like having an extra tactical marine missile launcher, except it's got even more range. So yeah, we're seeing by default just keeping it in melee, using that flamer. Let's start capping this point here with attacks. Fair enough. A little bit of skirmishing in the mid. Very important that Dice really keeps control of this middle VP right now. Their VP situation for the blue team is looking really bad. But they did a really good job bashing the natural farm of the red team, to be honest. I don't really know how they managed to get away with it. Just keeping them in the game for sure. Oh, we nearly caught the spotters there with a cloud. Jesus. Very close.
Our ally structure is under attack.
Wow, Devastator is so slow to react. What is Fog watching? He's got tactical marines in the base. He's got shit over here. Oh, Fog. Just lets his Devastators get wiped out. Does go for the assault cannon. I don't think he ever got the opportunity to get the gen bash. That's a shame. I mean, the assault cannon basically gen bashes nearly as quick anyway, to be honest. Just vulnerable to melee. I'm not really keen on how both players of the red team have gone for walkers. I don't like that. I think that's... I mean, they're clearly... Well, they mustn't be, like, communicating. I really wouldn't do that. I'm not sure these Lord Commissar mines are going to arm themselves in time to wipe the Havoc. No, they're not. Yeah, if you're going to drop them in retreat, you need to really follow it up with something like a Kadashinov Reliable to manually detonate them, because they take a while after being dropped to arm. Otherwise, they'd just be insane for retreat kills, right? You could use something like a Manticore as well, but generally Kadashinov Reliable is the most reliable way to get those mines to explode immediately on a retreating unit. But yeah, I'm a little bit concerned right now, given that red team have got both a Dreadnought and a Chaos Dreadnought. Any AV that comes out for either player is going to be useful against both compositions, which seems silly to me. I think one of them would have been a lot better off going straight to tier 3, especially since they're managing to hold this power farm with the turret that Aboba has put down. You know, why doesn't Aboba just go tier 3 and get some Terminators out himself and then unlock a Great Uncleanman or something? I feel like that would have been a lot more effective. Maybe even a Nurgle tank if you're against an opponent that's stuck in tier 2 and fielding a lot of infantry. The Nurgle tank could be quite effective. Not the best assault cannon barrage there, just going to give one of the ISC. I'm not really sure what these other ones are doing. Stasis there by the Demon Hunter, but they're not really achieving a whole lot. Oh, they're just buying time. You can see at the back there, you've got the Turbo Penetrator rounds loaded in by the Vindicator, and he's got the Psychic Assailment Global buffing his range and his damage. So, just trying to do a little bit of chip to the Dreadnought. Even if they don't kill it, it's going to be time spent having to repair it afterwards. Was that a... That must have been a squad of Bloodletters, not a summoned one, but an actual squad. What the fuck were they doing that deep? I just seen how they just got wrecked in melee, and I thought, oh, it must be a summon, but he's playing the Plague Champion. He can't summon Bloodletters. It's not the Curse Lord. Very unusual play there from Aboba. I don't really understand it. I'm going to be honest with you. Just gets them completely wrecked there by the Ogrins. Going to be dropping down a Noxious Cloud here, trying to stay in play. Ogrins doing pretty good against the Chaos Dreadnought. It got a buff not so long ago to have 20% melee resist, and that is certainly showing its value right there. In tandem with the Cloud is going to be able to force off the Kadashins and the Ogrins, and damn, a lot of things died over here. What did we lose? I don't really know. I mean, a lot of Marines died, but it doesn't look like any squads died. The Dreadnought died. Oh, fuck me. He lost the Dreadnought. That's really bad. Oh, he did take out the Vindicare, but then I guess the Purifiers turned up. No anti-vehicle armor on the Demon Hunter. But yeah, I guess he must have committed really hard to kill the Vindicare. But the Vindicare's like 35 power. And Assault Cannon Dreadnought's 150. That is an amazing trade for Cry. Especially given that they're so much lacking in power compared to their opponents. But Fox kind of gave up on the tier 2 right now. He's going to be going tier 3. I'm not really sure why the Purifiers are staying in this long. Although they're on 4 models and they're going to get Sasist out. But this seems like... I don't know. It just seems like a big commitment. that was very risky for not really a whole lot of reward. There was no way the Purifiers were ever going to be able to kill the Chaos Dreadnought here. There's no supplemental AV on the way or anything like that. Some nice combos there. Rift Tear into a Plasma Overcharge into a Banishment on the 2 CSM. Sorry, the 2 Tacs that are rotating to the mid. Some nice damage on them, but basically the red team's forces just seem to outnumber the blue. Well, I say that as the entire IG army appears again, so maybe not. Maybe the blue team are going to hold on to it. Looks like the Havoc's probably trying to get into the garrison, but they really don't want to do that whilst Kaddish and Devils are right here. This is a death trap, man. Old Reliable onto the garrison. He doesn't fire it. He retreats straight away. But he's got a grenade. Yeah, he's got a grenade from the Stormtroopers. I think that should kill. Ooh, super close, but in tandem with the Plasma Gun Guardsmen and the Hotshot Las Guns there on the Stormtroopers, that is going to be another dead Devastators, dead Havoc squad. I don't know, very questionable plays here from the red team. They're playing very frantically for a team that has 353 VPs and whose opponent only has 50 VPs. I mean, look at this here. Plague Champion fighting to the death against Ogrins that were clearly way too high level. Oh god, this is an orbital bombardment from Fog. What is it going to be able to kill? Lands perfectly on the Ogrins here. I don't know if that's going to be enough for a wipe. Ogrins are so durable, but they're not full HP. Let's find out. No. Of course not. Fucking Ogrins. You can't kill Ogrins. Very strange to me that Fog just called down an orbital bombardment and he didn't put any of the beams on the bunker. One of the best things about the orbital bombardment is the fact that it can one-shot any structure. Gens, turrets, beacons, bunkers, they all just get one-shot. And he didn't destroy it. But looks like he's got his Chaos Dreadnought in play right now anyway. Going to be using that to take out the bunker. It doesn't look like there's any AV to stop him. I'm not really sure why the Guardsmen aren't repairing the bunker. This is all very strange to me. And he's going to back off without finishing it off. This is just bizarre. Just bizarre. Bionic Eye is that? Yeah, Bionic Eye from the Commissar here onto the Caddishans. That is a crazy war gear. I'm a little bit confused about that usage. So 2.5 speed increase. It's got your typical 100% extra damage from normal execute and prevents the retreating, but it gives suppression immunity and it heals all the other models that you don't execute to full HP, which is kind of wild. Going to be picking up stubbornness now as well. Now that Bionic Eye could be very good with the Ogrins. That's what you typically see it with. It's decent with the Caddishans as well. Certainly if he's going to be fighting something like Terminators, Caddishans with that Bionic Eye can be quite scary. And it looks like the turret's going to get overwhelmed right now. Simply too many units for it to deal with. The Guardsmen aren't firing. Okay, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. I was going to say, it really feels like Fog hasn't been pulling his weight, but there is a reason for that. He's currently purchasing a Land Raider Redeemer going to be on the field pretty damn soon. So he's obviously not purchased a lot, well, he's not purchased much at all for a very long time, whilst he's been saving up for this. I mean, there's not a lot of VPs left for the blue team. All red team need to do is grab those 2 VPs and park their Land Raider Redeemer nearby, and they should be in a decent spot. That said, Cry is actually tier 3 himself right now. But there's not really any amazing AV options for the Demon Hunter in tier 3. Doesn't have access to the Paladins, which would be amazing versus a Land Raider Redeemer. Not really sure why the Purifiers are in the base here against the Dreadnought. Seems a bit odd. This whole push seems kind of wild. I mean, it's certainly draining a lot of VPs of the red team. You see the blue team's got a 2-0 cap right now, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it means that the Purifiers have to retreat. Now we've got a flanking Land Raider Redeemer, and this could be the situation that the red team need right now. Oh, get the Frag Assault in retreat. Go, go, go. Oh, that was kind of underwhelming. I really thought that would have done a bit more damage. Damn. Damage resistance from the Acolytes there, proving very valuable, I guess. Jeez. I'm a little bit concerned now about how the Land Raider Redeemer is moving up mostly with no support. We've got a little bit of Chaos Forces coming up the side here. Let's see It's like the flamers are actually expressing the commissar, which is nice. Man, they really need to take out this bunker. But there's no AV. Yeah, the Land Raider Redeemer right now can just drive through and just literally incinerate everything with these Flamestorm cannons or whatever they're called. What are they? Heavy incinerators? Flamestorm cannons? Not sure. Surely they're not just heavy flames. I mean, these things look fake. So they did get their natural in spite of these strike squads running around back here. And we've got a... Oh, is this a Manticore? Holy shit. There is indeed a Manticore. I wasn't sure if that was Emperor's Wrath. But of course not. Dice Roll is actually stuck in tier 2 right now. A lot of bleed on the Ogrins, the Kadashans, well, and everything, I guess. Oh my god, I don't know why the Guardsman stayed in there. What is he doing? He's losing units left, right, and centre. Loses the Guardsman, loses his squad of spotters. I mean, he's just throwing everything onto the point due to the lack of VPs right now. He's got something capping here. Fog must have sent like a scout squad over. Fog is spamming scouts right now. What the hell? What is he doing? He's on triple scouts. Okay, this is just bizarre. I'm not even going to attempt to justify it. This is just madness. There's still no serious AV to really contest this from the blue team. Oh my god. What's that? Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Cry bought an Inquisitorial Operative squad, hit the Melter Bomb for the 50% snare, and then he used the Banishing Cloak, which also snares vehicles, and then used the Orbital Bombardment. Dead Land Raider Redeemer. Who needs AV? Who needs AV? You've got Auto Malleus bullshit and Orbital Bombardments. That is a dead Land Raider Redeemer. And Fog is going to be trying to return the favour now with his second Orbital Bombardment. Actually, beautifully catches the IST squad there. Might actually wipe them. Prevents the Commissar from being able to get onto the cap as well. 7 VPs are all that is currently left for the blue team. Plague Champion still remaining on the field. In fact, a lot of Chaos Forces. A nice little worship going on here. Helping heal the tank. Helping heal the Chaos Dreadnought. And I don't know if they can stop the Plague Champion from getting the cap. The Demon Hunter is going down to the natural VP. He needs... Oh, they stopped the cap! Wait, how did they knock him off? I thought he had Armour of Pestilence, giving him knockback immunity. Why did he not just finish the cap? Oh, this is very weird. Eh? Did he want to take the fight? I don't get it. Why? Just finish the cap. But they're going to be in the game still anyway because the Demon Hunter catching the decapping the natural VP of the red team. Oh my god, this Commissar is going insane right now. What snared the Predator? I don't even know what snared it, but something must have snared it. It's moving so slow, and the Commissar is going to be able to take it out with his Power Claw. Now going to move on to the Cursed Dreadnought. He is a one-man army as always, this Commissar. As soon as he picks up that stubbornness. Oh, and there you go. Rites of Exorcism cast on the Dreadnought. You see how it snares him, does a little bit of damage, and then it puts this debuff VFX on him. So basically, you see, you know, we've only got mostly normal melee damage coming in here. A little bit of power melee on the Strike Squad Justicar, but regardless, it's going to do a lot of damage to the Dreadnought when it's got its damage resistance debuffed. Really nice use of this Wargear here. Definitely one of the most underutilized, but honestly one of the most powerful Wargears in the Demon Hunter. It's a really nice utility piece for him. He can do things in terms of AV that very few other heroes can do. And right now it's just a delay in action from the Strike Squad. We've got the blue team secure in the middle. We had some more scouts up here, presumably infiltrated, decapping the natural VP, but a Vortimer Razorback is reinforced in the front. Cry is immediately getting the Crusader Squad via the Global, because you don't have to wait for the build time, so they can go straight onto the cap. And he sacrifices his Strike Squad onto the natural VP. Nice attempt here by Fog using the remainder of his red to call in a Tactical Marine Squad, which he wanted to get on that VP. But they, unfortunately, are not going to be able to beat Crusaders, so... I think the red team are screwed. They're not going to be able to force off the Commissar here. They're not able to get onto the point. I mean, they need to decap the middle as well, so... Blue team are going to be able to reverse the VP situation and win the game on a rather measly 7 VPs. Who would have thunk it? That, ladies and gentlemen, was a 2v2, and I hope you enjoyed it. that is going to be all from your boy STD today. Torpid, signing out.